Salutare tuturor și bine ați venit la podcastul Imocon. Sunt Laszlo Fodor și astăzi vă prezentăm o companie cu care colaborăm de peste 17 ani. Furnizăm echipamente pentru constructorii de utilități, cei care introduc cabluri în subteran și în suprateran. Și astăzi avem onoarea să îi avem alături de noi pe cei care conduc firma Jakob Thaler din Germania, Katharina și Christian. Welcome to our podcast.
Thanks for having us.
So, before we start to enter a little bit more into the company history, we would like to know a little bit the people who are behind the brand. So, Katharina, you are the general manager of the company,
Yes.
and you have taken this job lately. What is your background? Where are you coming from? Tell us a little bit about you.
So I started 2014 with Jakob Thaler. So I directly after school I started my study. So I made a dual system and studied economics as a bachelor. And directly working at Thaler at the same time. So I'm fully into it, and I got to know every department. It's a lot of experience. And with a 1-year break, I started my master's also besides work and finished it in 2019. So from then I've been the assistant of my mother, Bridget. She was the former general manager of Thaler. And last year in October, I took over. So we had a transition in the management. She's retired now and she's well deserved. Now I'm here in my new position and with a lot of new adventures.
And challenges as well.
And challenges, for sure.
Congratulations for this new job. For other people who know Jakob Thaler company, Brigitte is practically the same like in the company name. But for our customers, Brigitte was a general manager since how many years?
The company was refounded in 2001 after mismanagement. We got insolvent and then they built up the company as it is right now. So with 3 other shareholders, she built up the company again and was the general manager since 2001.
So practically 20 some years.
Yes.
And she was working in Jakob Thaler earlier before.
Yes. She started, I think, in the 70s. So she's really like, the one from Thaler, you can imagine. So more than 40 years. 40
years, yeah. And you have went into her footsteps because you have started also from the first time working in Thaler.
Yes.
And just to mention that your sister, it's also at the company, as far as I know, Joanna.
Yeah.
She's on the export department as well.
Yes, correct. She started, I think, end of 2020. She started 2021.
Okay.
So
after COVID.
After COVID, she worked in a travel agency, and the future was not that bright. So we had enough capacity to offer her a job. And she's really doing a good job. So she's handling the sales, the shipment, the customs. Yeah, and she's a very big support for both of us. Yeah,
we have a good contact with Joanna since those 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Dennis just spoke very well about her. And she's a very good support. And coming to support to sales. So Christian, you're the sales manager for external, and formerly you were on German market sales manager. Tell us a little bit about your background and where are you coming from and what are you doing in Thaler exactly?
My current position is head of sales at Thaler. My origin is I'm a trained mechanic for production, so operating lathe machines, flat tracing machines, stuff like this. Then I did a master craftsman degree in machine manufacturing and worked on a worldwide basis as a service engineer for on-site machining services. So I'm used to travel the world for profession, and I wanted to try something new, and through relationships with one of our suppliers, I made contact to Brigitte in 2019. and she offered me a job in sales. So I tried something new. This is where we met the first time, so on Bauma 2019.
I remember that.
And I was working for the export sales department until April of last year. And since April of last year, I get promoted to head of sales. So I'm responsible for the complete sales within Thaler now. And so I'm working next to Katharina since my beginning. So now our desks are a little more far away from each other, but we used to sit like we sit now for many years now. Okay,
and this is interesting. Most of our suppliers are family-owned companies, and many of them with a long background. What is it's a transition between generation. What is your feeling about what is the meaning about taking over after your mother's place?
So I'm stepping into really big steps, and it's a very big chance for me. So the requirements from my team are still high, so they expect some new changes from me. So I have a fresh wind into the company with new ideas, with modern strategy, and this is really my goal, to implement it and to let the company grow and to continue the success of my mother.
And speaking about success, what is your chemistry between you two? How are you cooperating? Are you similar, complementary? You are opposite? How would you describe?
If I should answer,
you can start.
I can speak freely now. No, we have a good chemistry. Even as we come from total different backgrounds, it's very helpful. I mean, I spent my whole time in the company between the family. So I had Johanna right of me, Katharina in front of me, and Bridget in the next office. They gave me a lot of trust already from the beginning, which makes my life super easy. And as I said, I wasn't a sales guy before, but I got a lot of responsibilities already from the beginning and a lot of trust, which always made my job fun on one end. And I always liked the responsibility. And we both, on some points, we agree. Sometimes we have to discuss, but already with Bridget, it was always heard when I got an idea, even if the idea was not good, then it got heard and it got discussed. So it was always quite a partnership relation more than a top-down thing. And I learned from Bridget, a lot. From Katharina, I learned even more because she was always sitting next to me and saw my fails and wins directly. But I think the most important is that it was always fun. So we even in harder times, we always have a good time together, and we always have the same goal and to bring the company up front. And working on this, we found our own language and our own set of tools how to deal. So yeah, it's straight positive.
Okay, how do you see this cooperation?
I totally agree. So first of all, I learned a lot from my mother. So really also regarding management, we have the same opinion about trust. So exactly what Christian meant. So I really like to give trust to people because they have to be free in their work. So they should have their own ideas, and to have a good workflow and to create new business as well. And I totally agree with Christian. So we have a good partnership. So I learned a lot from him. So basically from technical side, so I could gain some more knowledge. But I think I was also a good support for him because he's a technician, no sales guy.
Yeah.
So he had to learn a lot when he entered the office. But I think now together we created a good way to move on and to be flexible, and also to see maybe new ideas and to move on. So this is really a good way that we have created.
Yeah, I see that you are coming from the sales. You have grown through the sales. You are coming from technical side, and you followed management. Your meeting point is the sales. Probably the common language. This is about sales. So this is a good bridge. Okay, speaking about sales, so practically you are producing equipment and you are selling equipment. Tell us a little bit about the beginning of Jakob Thaler and developing the company.
Yes. So Jakob Thaler was founded in 1964 by Jakob Thaler. He was working for the Deutsche Post, and he was responsible for laying cables in a trench. But as they did it by hand, it was a lot of work to do. So he thought about the idea to do it with a machine, so to lay the cable in the ground. And that's where he started with the cable dog, with the famous cable dog. It's still in our product portfolio since now. This was the beginning. And over the years, the company had different stages. So Jakob Thaler died quite early. So we had a very international management in between. Also, unfortunately, some mismanagement. So this is why we got insolvent beginning 2000. And then, as I said, the 4 shareholders created the Jakob Thaler GmbH as it is now. And since then we are growing, we are successful, we are a known brand and a known company. So this is where we have to move on.
And speaking about growing, where are you present through dealers? In which countries?
So we are acting worldwide. So our main focus is for sure Germany. So this is mostly half of our turnover. And the other countries are a lot of European. So we are spread over all Europe. We have a very good partnership in the US. So there we have 2 strong partners. So one is located in the east, one is located in the west. So we have a very good market over there. Also, Middle East is a part from us. So we have also a good partner in Saudi Arabia, a very long-term relationship. And so these are our main market.
And speaking about development and management, recently it was a takeover of the company. Tell us a little bit how it developed and what is the status quo now.
Yes, so end of 2022, we got acquired by the Plumitas Group. Plumitas is a company from Switzerland. So they are producing blowing equipment. So they are really on the telecom branch. And we as Thaler, we are very on the energy branch. So it was a strategic acquirement. So now we want to do the complete market as one group. So as Plumitas is already the world leader in telecom, we now want to be the world leader in the complete branch, energy and telecom. So we found a good partner on our side. Since end of 22, we have a partnership. And for sure, it's always new development with a new shareholder on site. But we are making good progress. So we have new projects, we have new colleagues, we have new dealers and customers. So there are a lot of advantages we can get from it.
So it's developing synergistically these two together. Yes. Also on the market side. I understood that companies who have formerly blown a lot of cables now do not have that much work, and they are starting to shift to energy. Because they have some experience and they are still in the utility contractor business. And are you starting to develop some products together? You are cross-selling the products on the same market?
Yeah, and so now we have our first project together. So we are combining the knowledge of both companies because Plumitas has already a 3-ton fully electric winch in the market. And we have now created a 5-ton fully electric winch. So it's the base of our standard SP 3050 with the electric knowledge of Plumitas, which is already existing. And we combined the knowledge and created a complete new winch, which is not existing like it is now on the market. So it's a really big advantage and a very big step into the future.
So it's not just winch, it's win-win.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is keeping Thaler from the original brand, from the original AD, as we would say so, and what is getting new. So practically, you like the sales guy, you know it that you are keeping like the product line for the energy, but on the philosophy, what is the same and what is coming new?
So definitely the same as the core values. So Thaler is still Thaler. Our logo now says member of the Plymouthers Group, which we fully are. So we are fully aligned with our colleagues, which is a very interesting process. When you overnight you gain like 10 sales colleagues on top, which is brilliant. For me as a sales guy, I mean, sales guys like to speak, and if they have more people to speak, they are happier. Additionally, as we spoke, as we just heard, we gained a whole new dealership network on top of our dealership network. So what changes is definitely the people. So there's loads of new people, loads of new contacts, loads of new contracts, loads of new chances, opportunities. We already made the transition on many spots. So my key task in the last years was to align the dealership networks. So to see who of the more telecom related Plymouthers dealerships is able to work with us. And we have many really positive stories out of it in different countries, and it was a big fun to get to know all these people and get to know new customers. But I think the core values are still the same. So we want to build reliable products, matching the applications, and we want to serve the customer in a way that he gets the most benefit out of his equipment. This is the same with Plymouthers as we also had it in Thaler before, which makes our life a little easier. Joining companies is always tricky, but if you share the same core values, then you already are a big step ahead. So I think this sums it up quite well. So this is the essential core point where we all met.
Combining the markets as well, complementary product, and nearly the same customers. So it could be very interesting how it will develop.
It is.
Yeah. And speaking about markets and customers, so let's briefly go through the product range. What are the main products, what you are offering? And just a side question, will Thaler as a brand remain as a group of Plymouthers, yes, or in the future they want to merge and to become one brand like Plymouthers?
No, we really want to be separate. So as I said, Plymouthers is really standing for telecom, and Thaler is really the brand for energy. And this is also how we do the marketing and also how we act. So this is really separate. Two markets, yeah, we are one group, but we really want to push Plymouth on the telecom side and Thaler on the energy side.
Okay, this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. So let's go through the product range a little bit. What are the main products what Thaler is offering?
From our roots, as Katharina explained, we provide all the solutions required to put a cable into the ground. So this is where Jakob Thaler started, improving the applications. So we see ourselves in the first line as manufacturer of cable pulling equipment for underground cable laying. It doesn't matter if it's a trench or a pipe. We are producer, manufacturer. We say manufacturer with being proud on a manufacturing process, which it still is. We manufacture cable pulling winches for underground cable pulling. We're producing cable drum trailers for safe operation and transport of cable drums in different sizes. We are reseller of fiber optic cable blowing equipment from our mother company. And we are also producer and reseller of everything around it. So all the small accessories, rollers, loop, wearables, whatever, is provided by us in our portfolio.
And you say that you are proud that you are producing. The production site is located where?
In Germany.
Germany. So
yeah.
Trailers and winches are produced from the beginning on in Germany, and still there it is.
Yeah. So the winches are actually produced in the manufacturing process. So one guy is designated to build one winch. So if we go to your winch in your warehouse now, take the vehicle ident number of it, put it into our system, then we can see who built it. So this is, for instance, it helps to keep a certain quality because the people are dedicated to the product. And on the other hand, it's tricky to find people who can do that, but the people who can do have a fun job because they don't stick the same motor over and over again at a line into a winch. So they build a complete winch, and at the end they can take 2 steps back and say, okay, I built this one. And
so they are proud of it.
Exactly. So this is one of the cores in our manufacturing process. And the trailers, it's the same. We start cutting quarter pipes, and from a big pile of steel at the end there is a nice trailer coming out. We have our own paint shop within the house. So we sell every RAL color tone without extra charge. So if your customer wants to have the winch in a slight green, we did pink trailers. We can do Imocon yellow, no worries, without extra charge. So it's not about branding. It's for us. It's as we do it in house, we can do it, and we do it because we can. So we just had the discussion within the company, what's the most favorite colors, and at the end we asked our paint shop guy if he really likes it, that there's so many different colors. His quite honest answer was that it would be boring to paint all the stuff in the same color, like everything in orange.
Yeah, it's not the painter who is doing it there in this case. Speaking about the products, what is the most requested product, or what are the most requested products? What are you selling the most?
When it comes about quantity, it's sure like stuff like rollers.
Yeah.
So this is an easy answer. So for a proper cable pulling process, you need a lot of rollers. So this is quantity. When we speak about our classics, I would say it's like a 3-ton winch. Mm-hmm. If we compare it with cars, our KESP 2030 is like our Golf. Okay. Our 3050 is like our Passat. So these are the classics for the German and the European market, even the 5-ton class, even into export markets. So Middle East is in average a little higher pulling force because the cable length are longer and the diameters are a little bit bigger. So the chances to sell a 10-ton winch in Germany are definitely lower than selling it to the US or to Saudi Arabia. But I think 3 and 5-ton winches are the classics. This is our core products.
And on the trailer side, what would be?
This is like a separation. So we have our TTA 2091 is a 2.6-ton payload trailer. It's the biggest one you can drive with 3.5 tons in total weight. So the biggest one you can drive with an overrunning brake behind a Sprinter or a pickup.
So B driving license, how we call it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And everything above it is truck trailers. I would say our 6008 TTA is the most sold truck trailer. It's basically, it looks like a 2091 on steroids. It's featured with an air brake system, ABS. You can go 80 kilometers an hour on the highway, and you can still drive safely, like a payload of 6 tons. Okay. You need a proper truck, but you have different options on it. So those are the most sold trailers, I would say.
How would you say that your products are different from other products on the market?
Whenever we build something in the past and also now, it's rugged. It's super rugged. It's made for being used by operators who use equipment on a daily basis and push it to their borders, so to the limits. If you use the equipment within the numbers given and you use it to the limits, you will still have a super decent tool to work with. So it's not like if you have a 6-ton trailer, you can daily ride it with 6 tons and it will work. And this is something which our name is standing for. Also over decades now, everybody knows if you buy a 10-ton Thaler trailer, you can use it with 10 tons every day. So this is what stands out, and this is what Thaler is about.
I remember I've seen, I think in Hungary, I've seen the oldest trailer had 30 plus years at the time when I have seen it, and it was still working. So coming to some novelties, I have understood that you are making a transition to some digital services. And I know this is Christian's kitchen a little bit more, but in a few words, what are the direction in this regard, what you are going to?
Yeah, so we are following the general way. So our machines will be smart someday, and they will be digital. So also we will have a digital connection to report. So the recording will be only via Wi-Fi and directly connected to a platform where also the management team, for example, can see how the machine work, how the operators work, what are the issue with the track, for example. So, and this is also a way to optimize the cable laying and also to see where the road goes to. So yeah, the digital services will be the future of the winches and also for the software of the machines.
I remember the first recording equipment was a TF1, what I have learned, or what was it? Yeah, and then the RD3000 and.
It's like the first one implemented in the winches is the very old school. We call it the toilet paper roll because it looks like this, and it was a mechanical pin writing on the paper. Then the next step was like paper cards, pre-printed, also with the fine gauge on it.
So you started quite early.
It started very early, like close to the beginning. As soon as they noticed that you have a chance to ruin the cable, somebody thought about how to protocol that. The next really digital evolution was the KPR. The KPR, the nice orange box, with an included thermal printer where you have these cashier receipts getting out. Then followed by the TM3000.
TM3000,
which is still in place in some winches. The TM3001 is basically the same system but enabled with Wi-Fi connectivity. And we have the MP50 now.
The new one, what I have seen at Bauma.
Exactly. So the MP50 is, as Katharina said, IoT capable. So the machine has a connection to a server and is able to upload the protocols. So you can get access to the machine, to the protocols, and it shows performance data in live, and you can track the machine. And so this is the direction where we want to go. So no small paper printouts anymore. I know some people will miss the printer, but there's loads of connectivity features now. So Wi-Fi, USB, cloud, there's enough ways to get hands on your protocol.
And practically this will be a cloud-based service. So the customer will not own the software to do this, to download it, but it will have access through a platform.
Yeah. So currently it's like if you buy a winch with a system IoT capable, then you do a contract with Plymouthers and get access to this platform. It's for now it's already included 3 years of free use, so no charges, and it's browser based, so you can get access with any
on the phone as well.
On the phone, on the tablet, wherever you have a connection to the server, and the server is within EU, so it's highest data security standards, and there you have a safe storage of your protocols and performance data.
And this is valid for the trailers, for the winches now, and also for blowing equipment as far as I know for Plymouthers.
Yep.
And what else this software service can offer? So beside the recording of the parameters of the job site, I understand that you will provide also maintenance and preventive maintenance possibility later on in the future. But is there any planning solution for job sites to make some calculations based on the track you have? What are the required equipment, forces, and stuff like this?
Yeah, this is the second big digital service we offer. It's the Jet Planner. We have a lot of smart heads sitting there in Switzerland, and the Jet Planner is basically the software output of their experience. So the Jet Planner is the only software in the world who can calculate the upcoming pulling forces upcoming pushing forces or upcoming jetting forces, or however your application is looking like. And it can do it. So it's the only software who's capable of doing this into a 3D trajectory. So it's not like your average trench, which has like 90 degrees angles. You can put that in as well. But you can feed the system with KML files in 3D. So it actually calculates the forces, also the friction on top of the pipe. If you have a road crossing, for example, drilled with one of your Terra HDD equipments, you go down and up on the other end. You can have a mix of trajectories, so like open trench into HDD into open trench again, and you can put all those data, including the cable weights, the bending radiuses allowed, and all this kind of stuff. The equipment you have,
the
winch,
rollers,
the distance of the rollers. You can play with the distance of the rollers and see the outcome.
Wow.
So, which is really nice. You can plan your whole project up front, which is interesting for the people who pull the cable. And as well for the planners, because they can upfront find out if it's really possible what they have planned there, because this is actually sometimes a problem. It's a very powerful software which we offer for an abonnement version. So it helps us if the customer says, "I have this in this cable, and here's my track." We can sell him the matching winch, and we can basically prove him upfront that the winch will be big enough to do this, and that we can tell him, okay, you need more rollers because you need to have every 2 meters a roller instead of every 4 meter, because otherwise at 855 meters you'll reach the maximum force allowed to bring to your cable. So
is it a service you offer just for planning for a customer who doesn't have access to the software, but he gives you the parameters what they have, and is it possible for you to do it, or somebody's doing it?
We sell the software.
To access this to the software. Yeah.
We offer the access to the software, exactly, including training for the software, because actually most of the people don't know all the points which influence all your forces, and we internally use it for ourselves as well for the sales process. So all the sales guys are able to sell the software, but obviously they are able to use it because it brings a lot of advantages for us as well. So it's a mighty tool. You
have also bending radiuses and stuff like this included into
everything.
So
okay. if you have like an angle going into a 3D angle, you can put that into the trajectory, and it will tell you even about the lateral forces. So it's the more data you feed in, the more accurate will be your result.
Very interesting. And is this software available separately for the customers who hasn't bought a winch with this new 5,000 device?
Yeah, this is a complete standalone
product.
Yeah, you can use this if you have a Thaler winch. We don't recommend if you have another winch, but you can still use it. Yeah, obviously. As I said, it's also available for planners, for example, or for R&D teams. We know that pipe manufacturers need stuff like this. You can basically set up a pull and play with the coefficient of friction. So you can say, if my new pipe or my new cable has different coefficient of friction, we are able to lower the friction by 0.1. This is the result in the outcome. So you save a lot of money on practical tests.
How long it take for somebody to learn this tool, this software?
Depending where you start. If you are an experienced cable puller, below a day.
Okay.
So if you have an idea what you're doing, it's definitely you're able. I mean, our friends from Switzerland were able to teach us sales guys within a day, so it should be possible for everybody else.
And you have it in English and in German as well?
Yeah, and in French, I think.
Okay. So it's getting interesting, very interesting. Speaking about these services, how do you see the customer service for, let's say, how it looks like a customer service in Germany, and how you would see it, for instance, in Romania?
So for Germany, we have a very big focus on customer service. So it's a very big part of our business. So for the Thaler side, we have an in-house service. So every customer can bring their machine to us and we repair it. We do service, we do controlling it or calibration, for example, for the winches. But we also have a team who's going around Germany and German-speaking countries. So customer service is really a big point. And we are also training our distributors or forcing them to do service because in our opinion, it's not only the sales you have to do, it's also to service the machines and to have a customer support. So so it's exactly the same for Romania. So you're a dealer, and we are happy that you're doing service for our machines. And we already heard about from the market that you're doing good service. So you know the products, you know the machines. So you're able to do service, you are able to do repairs. So I think you're doing a good job, and it's a very important point for us.
Speaking about these important parts, what is your expectation for a good partnership like we have with Imocon since 17 years, I think, so we have started. What is your view on this regard? What are your expectations?
And you mean in general?
In general,
yeah.
And in particular with Imocon.
Yes. So the partnership is a big word. So we don't want to have only dealership. We want to have a partnership. So we are focusing on long-term relationship. So because we can secure that the knowledge is existing, the market knowledge also is existing, which is also important, so that you don't know only one branch or one region. So when you have a big view on the market, it's a good help for us. Also to support us in sales, to increase the sales. And that you have a very good customer relationship. So also not changing your product range every year. So I know that you have also a long-term relationship to other distributors or suppliers. So this is really an important point for us.
Okay, thank you. And what is your vision with the developing of the equipments? What do you see? What's coming? What's the future?
So the machines will be smart, definitely. So smart is like one of the key words. I mean, smart is a loose word, but if we put it into relation to our machines, the machines should be capable of doing more by themselves. So they should optimize themselves. So maybe they should choose the right RPM of the engine, if there's an engine if it's not electric. So battery management systems, all these kind of stuff. Connectivity is a big point. So it's not just about being connected to the user through an HMI or through a Wi-Fi connection to the phone or whatever. It's about communication in between the machines. So on one fine day, the machine or the winch in this case should be able to communicate with a pusher or a trailer to fulfill a smart system in total. So the machine should be should be able to optimize the whole process. Connectivity, we already made the first steps, as Katharina said, with our IoT features. But also the machine should be able to check own parameters. So the machine should be aware of its own condition. So when we speak about condition monitoring, preventive maintenance, all these kind of things, I mean, the possibilities are endless now, but we have to follow up. So it's a big task because developing stuff in these fast times is tricky, because you can end up developing something which is basically overhauled next week. So, but we have luckily after joining of the companies, we now have an extended capacities when it comes to R&D, because in Switzerland there's a much bigger R&D team as we used to have in Thaler. I mean, our team is growing as well, but there's much more focus on R&D than it has been in the last years. So there's nice things coming up. And I'm a sales guy. I'm always happy if I get new gadgets.
So I think we have to adapt also to the current situation. I don't know how it is in Romania, but in Germany, it's very hard to find operators for machines. So we really have to adapt to the situation. So the future is really to have more automatic machines. So as Christian mentioned, so that the machine can regulate themselves, and the more easier operation will also be the future. So,
speaking about the future, how do you see it? It's hydraulic, it's electric, it's combined regarding the equipment.
So for the long-term future, I really see electric winches, because you see it in all over Europe. So the electric machines are coming. So in one country, it's already really in place. The other one just heard about it, but it's always depending on the regulations within the company, within the countries. But I really see the electric machines for the future, for the long-term future.
And for the short-term future, what machine do you plan to release in 1-2 years? What are the novelties?
I think the basic machine will stay the same. So we have the machines since the beginning, and they are solid machines. So it's now very high-tech technology. It's a machine which can pull cable, and this is the main job of the machine. But we will add additional value to it. So like the smart connections, so the digitalization, so to really adapt to the current market, to the current development of the complete business, the world development. So this is really where we adapt to. Yeah, and before we go to the long-term future of the electric machines.
Speaking of the markets, what means the Romanian market for Thaler?
The Romanian market is a very long-term market already now for us. So I think our relationship started 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
So not with me, but with my mother. So so we have a long-term relationship, and there is business. We feel it, and we have a very good development since the last years. I hope you agree that.
Yeah, I do.
So it's quite an important market for us in Europe, and we see demand, we see requirements. So also for the future, we see very big potential over there.
Okay, and what have you, if you have any perspective on this, on the behavior of the Romanian customers, if you have any sight on this?
So the Romanian customers have always been loyal, and they use their machines to the bitter end. Let's say, in Romania, usually we see modern machines recently purchased, but we also see very old equipment, refurbished a second time, very well maintained, and I think the Romanian contractors just try to get the most out of their machines, extend the lifetime circle, which is not only good for economic reasons, ecological as well. I mean, we all hint in the direction of zero-emission machines and electric machines, but also extending the lifetime circle of machines is an important topic. And I think Romanians are in that point. Romanians are ahead of the rest of Europe because they really use the machine until the end of the lifetime circle.
What we know about the Romanian market, that people likes the gadgets. So on the technical side, we are early adopters, but on the budget side, we are not so early adopters. So this is the main point. Interestingly, that they are spending a lot on high-tech telephones and gadgets of this kind. But more and more in the late years, they have invested more and more in serious equipment. So this is good, and this is coming. Looking from the supplier perspective, what differentiates Imocon from other distributors, maybe even former colleagues of us?
So I think you have a really good knowledge about the market. So you have long-term customer relationship. You have a real close product range, so they're combining at some point, so that you don't act in one branch and then you act. So you really have a focus on what you're doing, and this is not always the case. So we have dealerships where we have one customer who asked for a winch. Now we are selling Thaler. So, but this is not the real support we need. So it's really, I think, a good synergy. So in the branches you're working or your customers are working in, and that you can also do a very good service is also a very good point, because also not every dealer is able to do that. So you have your own workshop, you can repair machines, you can do service, and this is a really big advantage of Imocon.
Thank you very much.
And what really separates you from most of other dealerships is innovative marketing, like doing podcasts. Because this is the first time being in podcasts regarding this topic. So this is not something which is usual, let's say. And we spoke a lot about this topic in the recent days. So we really appreciate your ideas, let's say, to promote our brand. And we really appreciate your effort. We're sitting here all together on your invitation. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much as well for this appreciation. You're welcome, and I'm glad to do this podcast. And it's a pleasure to have you here. But before we start the finish, let's say so, what is your plan for distributors generally, and what is your plan for supporting, let's say, Imocon in Romania? What would be the ideas in this regard?
So this is definitely Christian's baby.
He's the head of sales.
So this is probably my responsibility to solve this. So first of all, we want to stick to the core values. So we want to resume a loyal relationship, a partnership on the same level as we have it. And I think with your marketing approaches and your very structured way to lead the processes within your company, I think we are on a good way to go where we want, and we want to develop Imocon as one of the Europeans' bigger dealerships, even if the market in Romania has its ups and downs. But I think as your company is based on a solid foundation, I think we'll see a good success in the next years. And as I said, as Katharina said as well, it's a long-term relationship. So even if there's a bad year, there will be 2 good years afterwards. Always. This is what we've learned, and this is why we stick.
Yeah, this is our approach as well. Since 20 some years, we had our ups and downs, but we stick to our values, to our suppliers and to our customers. So we are going along on this road. Last question for you, Christian. If you would be a Thaler machine, what would be that?
Probably one which is a little bit too heavy. I like winches. I'm a winch guy. My new colleagues in Switzerland, sometimes made fun of me because I'm able to speak about one winch for 4 hours. And as Katharina said, a winch is pulling in and pulling out. But there's a lot of technical stuff I can bump you down with. So probably I like a KES P4050. It's powerful, but it's not too heavy. So.
Not too heavy, yeah. Probably you should equip this winch with a mic and a diffuser, so they will hear you what you are speaking about.
This is the electric winches do a big favor. So if you're demoing an electric winch, you can speak while you're demoing.
Okay.
So with the diesel engines, it wasn't possible. So you explained. Now I will show you something, and then you explained, and then you started up the engine and showed it. And now I can do it simultaneously because the winch is super quiet, which is fun.
Yeah, I have seen a very interesting part with our locating equipment that they have videos on it. And probably it's an easy stuff to do with an USB stick that if you have a screen, then you can put on the screen everything like a tutorial or whatsoever on the winches. So, and then you can speak. So that's for sure interesting. Katharina, last question for you. Not the last, but before the last one. If Brigitte would hear you now, what would you like to tell her that you would go further?
That I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of her story. So she made a very good job. I know that she had a hard start at the beginning. So they started at zero. And when you see what the company has grown to, it's amazing. So she and the shareholders did an amazing job. So without a big team behind, so that they did all by themselves. It's really her baby, and it's, what you feel like.
Very nice one. If you look back in the last 10 years or so, what you would like to change, if any?
You didn't hire me, or?
I think sometimes we have problems with the new generations. So the new generations are, I think, a little bit more difficult, but we have to adapt to it. And there are so many changes and requirements, and which you have to fulfill to make people happy, to get them committed to the company. And I wish it would be easier today, but I know it's not because I'm now managing them. So so changing within the generation to slow it down would be my wish.
Okay. Christian, what do you think AI and robotics will change in the near or the long-term future?
In the near future, I mean, our everyday life is influenced by AI on big scale. I mean, every one of us uses ChatGPT to take a shortcut on their presentations. But it takes a while to implement that in our products, definitely. But I would not be surprised if on one day a robot is laying the cable. So and this robot is probably able to teach themselves how to do it better when he crashed the cable for a few times. I think this is more long term. It's a quite conservative industry. So we are now making a step from a diesel engine to an electric engine, which needs some people to be convinced. We do that, and we are convinced that it works, and probably will be the same with AI on some spot. So we spoke about machines being smart, and I think AI will be a part of it. Those machines will be able to analyze data much better. So when the machine is able to understand itself, this will help.
And to receive feedback from the ground or from the environment.
Yeah, and connection. So I think it could be helpful. Definitely. I mean, we see this in a lot of industries. Why not in our machines?
Okay, and the last question, who would like to answer? How would you like to be seen, Jakob Thaler, from 10 years from now in Romania?
Number one in energy and cable laying.
Selling loads of winches every week.
No, I think we want to be the best known brand. We want to stick to our quality so that the people are still talking about the high quality machines from Germany. So who are ahead of the competition. So this is really the goal for the next 10 years to achieve.
I always like it when operators wear Thaler shirts or Thaler base caps with being proud on the equipment.
And you like to see Thaler equipment like you saw today on the highway?
Always, yeah.
Okay, and we are very glad to be part of it. And we will do our job to do the best. Thank you very much for being here today in Timișoara for this podcast and for visiting us. Dear customers, thank you for seeing us, and hopefully you will stick around because we are coming back with several different good podcasts and good informations regarding products what you need. Thank you.